Today, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns.
22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Working with his 2nd and 4. Jackson, draw play to Dobbins. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From midfield now, here's Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here's the Cleveland offense, and here's Baker Mayfield, former Heisman Trophy winner, ready to go at quarterback.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First carry for Nick Chubb, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A chance for Waddle on the return. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Muscles him off. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal. Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now, because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now, because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the mark.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And Oliver, that time, the one to get in there and bring him down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Second and 16. Another try after the first down sack. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Tucker with the extra point. And a route is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. Will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
4 yards remain for second down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. Mayfield to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Waddle now to return it. Oh, he shifts past him. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Touchdown! Mark Andrews with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens open the lead up to 34-0. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Mayfield. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off at the 28. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He's got Njoku over the middle. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's looked pretty good. It does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants.
There he goes, right side.
Ready for us.
And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just 1 play resulting in the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And Oliver in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he fields it cleanly. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run a little bit.
And it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit. and instead created a second one.
They begin this drive with Chubb, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Mayfield. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Mayfield lost the football. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. Third and long. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be a call to the punt team. And it's fourth down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On first down, Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Jackson. And he will find his man Ruggs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Henry Ruggs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff. You don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends. Good point.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. They're going to get 9 here on first down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Mayfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Justin Matabike there to bring him down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield down. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now Chubb on first down, able to work his way forward for about 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he is going to have a Browns first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Well, part of their struggles in the first half was their inability to convert consistently on 3rd down. But how about this well-designed play? Gave himself plenty of options and able to get the hook up and keep the drive going.
Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stay him about a yard short. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. But Kevin Stefanski going to take a chance, going for it on 4th. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Nick Chubb stopped short. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. Completes this out left to Ruggs. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he's got room. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Cleveland offense making their way out. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help.
Now Mayfield lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because when the defense got it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Jackson. Got an open man. It's Ruggs. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Edwards. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Gus Edwards with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens add on.
Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And again, it's Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mayfield hands to Chubb on the draw. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Mayfield. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Derek Brown in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. This will be fielded at the 17. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season?
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins, 46 yards. And the Ravens add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A chance for Waddle on the return. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They go play action with Jackson. Going up top. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Ravens are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further. They're definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown passes. They're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
First down, Mayfield.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them, well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever.
Now left side on the swing pass. Shreds the tackle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Justin Madubuike.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on first down, Mayfield. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs to throw. Mayfield. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for this one's done. I just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. Waddle now to return it. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And now here come the Ravens.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And quickly they get to the line. They go play action now. Jackson steps away to his left. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring suddenly, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Mayfield looks to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays, the long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. One last shot from Mayfield here. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it's a rare misstep as they'll drop to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
I have to explain about that. If you don't see me, we're not doing any type of we're not going to.
All right, so first off, we have this guy called Red-Handed. He tries to make a run to work right, but things aren't going to work out too well for him. That's
You gotta be kidding me. Y'all some haters. Oh boy, here we go. Henry Ruggs. slipped through the cracks. The NFC is looking like trash this year. Hold on. Coming. Well, let's finish these boys.
Today, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports.
I'm joking. Man.
Teddy Bridgewater and the Los Angeles Rams versus Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Rams. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Taken at the goal line. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
And
interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Here's Bridgewater. And his first pass is incomplete.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay. And then under pressure, they got him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
What a great job getting pressure here on the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
Taking on the midfield logo. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 1st and 10. It's Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Henry Ruggs with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now Jones. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Forced out to his left, and he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run here with Edwards. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Gus Edwards
hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
Now Jones.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
In today's NFL, when you talk about goals for defenses, and you think that maybe you'd like to hold them under 14 points or so, we think our offense can usually get set.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, Bridgewater. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Justin Madubuike
In there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's fielded at the 45. He did it again.
Oh, boy, you ain't got no feet.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. He goes 55 yards on the punt return. And the Ravens open the lead up to 34-0.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice. because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film, all that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions that...
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll run with Dobbins.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
A 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Ravens have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
He completes this to Russell Gage. And now look at this. Big game and a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot. But nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air. Because right now, we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in.
I just hung it up there.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Tucker now for the extra point.
I think I whipped that thing.
And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now Jones. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
And Bridgewater intercepted for the 3rd time.
Anthony Averett picks it, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This taken in at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
To throw is Bridgewater.
He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield.
And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault it.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Call it a loss loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 48. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. He goes 52 yards on the punt return. And the Ravens are able to add on to their first half lead.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His second return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Now Jones.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field.
I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true, because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We take it right on the 30. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, Dobbins. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Ed Oliver in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack.
Bridgewater. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
The Rams on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Excuse me. Four balls.
Here comes the Rams punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Well, the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night.
And now off to the races, right down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Henry Ruggs.
His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Ravens add on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Cam Akers and the Rams offense ready to go back to work.
He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. Being chased out left.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Anthony Avery picks it, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
This game really becoming a one-sided affair. Pick 6 there. It's in danger of being over before halftime.
And that's going to be a major league test for both of these teams because, look, you feel like you've got this thing locked up, right? But on the other side, in the other locker room, it's going to be a test of pride now. Forget speeches, forget adjustments. What kind of pride do they have to start the second half?
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Jones to bring it out of the...
And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
This hasn't been their cleanest first half of football. Last thing they wanted to do was give it up to the opposition, but able to keep it as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, tough first half, no doubt about it. But if they turn it over there, now things turn a little... how would you say it, dire, and they didn't need that hassle at all. So being able to take care of the football is paramount. Fortunate bounce for them there in order to retain it.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. That's out to the flat for Akers. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And we'll see what they want to do. Just 20 seconds remaining here before the half.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the visiting Jets who were able to get the road victory. Zach Wilson, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Justin Fields has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. In that game, all square as they take on the visiting Seahawks. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them, so what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
101 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Play action. Now Jackson.
Reception here by Ruggs.
And the ball is knocked out. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going. And not realizing that danger lurks while you're doing so. And
now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Patrick Ricard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now Jones. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Here's Akers. And he stopped immediately there. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Bridgewater. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. A chance for Waddle on the return. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. Oh, able to avoid him. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 60 yards. And the Ravens add on. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Waddle now to return it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a first down, and he gives himself up there at the end.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The football going back to the Rams now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. Now, meanwhile, the final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 62-yard punt return. And the Ravens add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. On the give, this is Akers. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a pickup of a yard there. That won't help too much. They're left with a 3rd and forever now. On the give, this is their fullback. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year.
And got his man complete. Touchdown. Kyle Pitts, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are on their way to a sensational 13-0 start as they extend their lead here. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching, and he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And not a very good return at all as he won't even get this back to the 15. Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the LA offense. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Bridgewater. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on to kick it away. Fielded at the 33. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. He goes 67 yards on the punt return. And the Ravens are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Now Jones. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's Bridgewater. Then he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And some space here. Still fighting for more. And he's going to get this one all the way down to the Rams' 24. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Justin Madubuike
Able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Bridgewater now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here comes the Rams punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
To throw, Bridgewater. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field have covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
And the defense, they'll spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
One last shot now for Bridgewater. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Ravens come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So for the Ravens, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for L.A., you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.